All right, so basically this is the new AlgoBars platform. I'm gonna just run through all the functions very quickly, and then I'll show you why I have MT5 here open on the side. So the first thing is the Algo Builder. So on the left side, you can switch to AlgoBars, which is the trading platform. Then you can go to Algo Builder, which is where you can build your strategies. There's so many options here. So any type of analysis that you do, you can basically make a strategy out of it. If this, then that, and you can either type it out, you can drag and drop different parts, however you want to do it. But basically here you make the strategy on the left side. In the middle here is where you set which market you want to test on. So we'll just keep it very simple for now. BTC, 1 minute time frame. Well, you can test it over the past day, week, month, or 3 months. We're getting more data. It's just very expensive and very time consuming to compile all the data, but we'll have it up to a few years eventually. And then your risk, your stop loss, take profit, and your balance for the test. So either you make a strategy or you can even click generate strategy and it will just generate a strategy for you, which is basically it'll randomize a template and you'll see the template right here as these blocks. You can obviously edit, move them around, change the variables, add new variables, whatever you want to do. Now, right here, so we got this random strategy made. We can just very quickly just click test strategy. And what it'll do is it'll actually go through and take all of the trades over the past, this is just period of 1 day. It'll just take all of these trades and it'll show you an equity curve. It'll show you how much percentage return. It'll show you all of the trades that it's taking. So basically right here, you click generate strategy. It'll generate the strategy, randomized template, and then we can just click test strategy. And then you can see it's going to run through this strategy on this time frame for this market for this test period, which is past day. And then it'll basically take these trades. Now, obviously, some of them you're going to have to edit to be able to actually take trades. There we go. So it took a buy trade here, and then we can obviously speed it up. But we have, for example, this strategy. You can save your strategies, and then let's say we test this strategy. You can see it actively generates your equity curve as it's replaying the historical data. So you can do this. Basically, anyone can do this. It's all working. You can do this right now. If you go to Algo Builder, you can generate a strategy or make your own and run a backtest on basically all of these markets for any time frame and any test period that we have available. So then you can see, for example, this one so far has given a return of about 4%, and we're just doing this over a day, right? So if this strategy was active yesterday, then these are the trades it would have taken. So we're almost done here. All right. So this strategy would have given basically it would have done these trades and the return says 6.3%. So now let's say I really like this strategy. I can save it and now I could just go back to AlgoBars and then right here under strategies, I can find it and then I just click deploy. I can set my lot size, my market, stop loss, take profit, and then I could just click deploy to live trading. And now this strategy will run on our servers and it will take these trades. Now, that brings us to the next thing, which is we've built a function where you can basically connect any broker globally and any prop firm. So if you go to wallet here, you can go to switch broker and then you can basically, TradeXN is integrated because we had their direct APIs, but now you can just click connect your broker and then it says find your broker. And then you can see people have already started to connect to prop firms. So there's a few people that have connected their accounts to FTMO, a few people that have connected to Vantage, CoinEx. You can search basically anything or custom add. If your broker isn't on the list, you can just add it and it'll connect to it. Now, this data that you're seeing here is actually running off of this CoinEx MT5 account. And this balance, as you can see, 987 is actually the balance in this account. So let me show you something. Basically, you can click buy or sell here, and it takes the trade on your MT5. So you can use the AlgoBars interface. You see, when I'm setting my stop loss take profit, it sets the stop loss take profit here on MT5. And now I can actually be trading using a modern interface with all these functions where I can automate my strategies, everything, and it will send it to my MetaTrader account.
Did you show the drag and drop stop loss, how MetaTrader doesn't have that, as well as choose the different orders?
For
Like
sure.
that helps for real-time trading?
So right here, for example, if I want to drag my stop loss down below the chart, I can't. It stops me here. So I have to resize the chart here. Then I have to go back and set my stop loss. Whereas, for example, AlgoBars has a function where if you hold it down, it'll resize the chart automatically for you. So that way you don't have to do all that resizing. It will do all of this. Basically, you get all these modern functions on a platform, and all you have to do is connect any MT4 or MT5 account to it. The next thing that we also have is we have market orders pending, which is limit or stop orders, which everyone knows. But now, because of the infrastructure we've built, we also have ghost orders. So what a ghost order is a lot of traders have this issue where when they place a pending order, you can see it on the order books here. So if I was to place a pending order here on MetaTrader, it's in the order books. Everyone can see my order, especially people who do large volumes. It's very visible. Large scale traders and especially institutions and any of these firms that are hedge funds and stuff, their orders just show up on the order book so people know that they have these orders waiting. But we have this function called ghost orders where if you right click, you can click add a buy or sell ghost order. So let's say I add a ghost order. This is only visible to you. And when the price reaches it or crosses it, that's when it'll actually execute that trade without anyone knowing that this trade exists. So this is actually such a major function that a lot of people need and they don't have. So we have this ghost buy. You can set it so you can see it doesn't show up on your MetaTrader. It only shows up here. And once the price crosses, it'll just execute your trade.
A ghost order is actually the equivalent of back in the day when you would call your broker on the phone to fill an order. A lot of really big traders would keep the broker on call and be like, wait, hold on. And then they would release the order at the moment that they want. But now you can do that automatically instead. Could you also show what happens when you open up multiple trades and you need to cycle through each stop loss target? Because you can't do that on MetaTrader right now, which is a very horrible thing for real-time trading.
For sure. So what happens is, so let's say I enter a few trades here. So I got a few buy trades. Now you can see we have three open. Now on MetaTrader, you see they're all just overlapping each other. And I don't know which one stop loss or take profit I'm setting. I can't really get to it. I would have to manually go here and then modify right here my stop loss using this whole interface and then modify, and that's how we would set my stop loss. But what we can do is, so let me remove this. Now on our platform, even though all of these orders are overlapping, if I click it, I bring it to the front, and now I can set my stop loss and take profit for this specific order. And then let's say I want to set it for this one. I click it, it brings that one to the front. Now I can set my stop loss and take profit for that order. So it makes it way easier because a lot of traders have this problem where they have multiple trades open, and because of how they're looking at it, it's overlapping. And now it's taking them so long to go through this whole function of I got to double click the stop loss, go here, enter the number. It's not intuitive or fast at all. Whereas over here, you just click, drag, done.
Did you go through using the AI assistant to just type out your strategy and it'll make it for you?
For sure.
A huge benefit that we see for Algo Builder, for brokerages and their sales desk especially, is that right now they have a huge issue of having these giant sales teams that are basically soliciting to thousands of investors to invest in different markets, when they could instead just take the Algo Builder and give it to their clients and let them do it and just teach them how to use the functions. So that reduces all their compliance risk as well as their problems about investing and making predictions, and increases their training volume because then the person can just get lost in making strategies or do whatever they want themselves by typing in their ideas here instead of to their broker. So if you just type in whatever strategy you think and it'll generate.
For sure. So let's say I just type out if RSI is below 30, then buy. And if super trend goes green, then buy. And if super trend goes red, then sell. And if SMA crosses above EMA, then buy. So I can type that, I click build strategy. Our system will create those blocks in order to actually build out that strategy without any need for coding. And then what you could do instantly is you could just go and you can test the strategy and it'll start testing the strategy. And there you go. So there's all the trades that it would have taken. And obviously we're just doing it for a day. You can select whichever time frame that you want. And it's showing you all the trades. So within a few seconds, you can get a full back test, forward test, equity curve, performance report, trade history of any strategy that you can possibly think of, imagine, or write down. It'll do it instantly.
And then from there, let's say you're an advanced trader who's been doing this for a while and you are really close to finding a working strategy because you found a few things that work together, but it takes a lot of math to compute and you have to be a coder. Instead, you could go to the indicator matrix and fuse all those together. So let's say that you want the super trend and the RSI to both be working together with the same rule set, but you can't fuse them because it's very difficult. It costs a lot of money, and someone doesn't even know what you're talking about because they don't even know how to build what you're thinking because you've been thinking about it for a while, and this is your first time explaining to a coder. You can just go to the indicator matrix and combine them together and blend them. Could you just show indicator matrix and how it works?
For sure. So if we go here to matrix, you can basically drag and drop any indicators you want. So RSI, super trend, volume, OBV, EMA, SMA. Let's just see what else is here. Parabolic SAR. And now here you have different blend modes that you can select from. And then you can just call it whatever you want. So let's just say ultimate indicator. Now I save this. So instead of having to look at one, two, three, four, five different indicators and do all sorts of analysis, I can now save this indicator. And if I go back to the AlgoBars trading platform and then I go to indicators, you can see ultimate indicator is right here. I can click it and add it to my chart. And now this right here is a combination of all of those indicators put together at those parameters. So now I just have to look at this one indicator. And then I can make my strategy and do my analysis based on this indicator. Now, that also brings us to another really crazy function, which is right here, we have the live market scanner. So most people do candlestick analysis. Just they have to learn the candles. They have to say, oh, this is a doji or this is a hammer. I'm sure you guys have heard about that. But what we've built is a system where it can scan the market live. So look, if I click doji, it will highlight all the doji candles on the chart live. So you don't actually need to do any analysis on your own. And this gets very complex as well. So for example, if you're looking for an engulfing pattern, it will find the engulfing pattern right there. So you can if you take trades based on those. Now, a lot of people, there's actually hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that are now doing SMC and ICT concept trading. Now, they have like things they look for called fair value gaps, order blocks. If we click fair value gaps, instead of actually trying to look and analyze the candles, look, it will just highlight the fair value gaps for you. And this will save basically any trader that does this thousands of hours of just doing manual analysis. If you want to find, for example, swing lower highs, you want to find chart patterns, head and shoulders. If we do head and shoulders, let's see if there's any here. There you go. Head and shoulder right there. So it will do all this analysis for you, and then all you have to do is basically whatever your strategy is based on, just you can be taking the trades. And you can use all of these to build your strategy as well. So you can say if there's a head and shoulders, then after three candles, or if there's head and shoulders and super trend goes red, then take a sell. So all of this is a fully working algo builder, and you can basically deploy this within seconds and connect it to any broker account in the world.
Could you turn on your strategy on your live account and see a trade running?
Yeah, let's see. So,
You go to strategies tab.
so it's right
Okay.
here. Let me just deploy this one too.
You're setting lot size and your position size.
So you can select your lot size. You can select your max open trades, stop loss, take profit, which market, direction, and you can even choose if you want to close the position on opposite signal. So let's click deploy. We can go and we can even, oh, and I think that brings us to the other part, which is let's say you make a strategy and you think it's super amazing and you want to share it with all your friends and family, you can actually go to My Strategies and click Publish. So if you click Publish right here, it'll ask you, you can publish it with the rules so everyone can see and import your strategy with the rules so they can see it, tweak it, whatever they want. Or you can publish it without the rules. So you can actually hide if you have a secret strategy, but you want to share it, you can hide the actual rules and still share it. So once you share it, if you go up here to Algo Share, you can find everyone. So there's actually a lot of people that have started to share their strategies. They've been creating, testing, and then you can see all of their results, which market. So this one's for Euro JPY. They tested it on 1 hour for 2 weeks. This is the return, drawdown, all of that. You can search for strategies, sort by highest profit, lowest drawdown, alphabetical, newest. You can find traders. There's all of these guys who have public profiles. You can search. So for example, if you want to search AKPWC, which is my account, you go here. You can follow, and then you can see all of the strategies that I've shared. You can click import, and then it will import that strategy to your account right here. There you go. Strategy is imported. Now, if I go back to Algo Builder or even AlgoBars, the strategy will be right here. Look, it says Super Saiyan 14 by AKPWC. And then I can load it up and then I can test it and I can see what the result is. And if I like it, I can just click. So look, this one did 35%. This is a pretty good strategy. I can just click deploy now and I can deploy to any market right away. So let's say I want to deploy it to BTC USD. So my lot size, automate the strategy deployed.
While we're waiting for a trade entry, can you go to the range bar chart?
Yeah. So here, I believe we're the first trading platform that has range bars and X-ray range bars completely integrated.
You show an example of you placed a pending ghost order at the close of the range bar and then it transmitted to your MetaTrader.
So right here at this reversal, we can set a ghost buy. We can even set pending buy here. And then okay, it's already started to move up. But
Let's place
basically,
it at the close of the first candle of the first green bar.
let's move this up.
So that way we have a very precise entry on the range bar, and then that will transmit to your MetaTrader. We missed that trade. Let's see the next one. Can you open it on X-ray range bars?
Yeah, so if we go here to chart type, we can go to X-ray range. And then this actually shows us what's going on inside of the range bar. So we can see the volume that's happening within the range bar. So you can see, for example, when there's not a lot of volume, and then once the reversal happens, and you can see how it's moving.
This way you can measure the trend movement in real time for where the volume is, if it's in selling or buying according to the ranges, and then have precise entries and exits based on range bars instead of time-based candles, which is much easier. And then if you already have a MetaTrader account, you can transmit it there directly or use it on AlgoBars, which is faster and easier, but both options are available.
And one thing that we have, so if you just go to algobars.com under guide, there's actually indicator glossary, platform guide, and strategy template. So if you go to indicator glossary, you can actually learn about all of the indicators. So let's say you don't know what an indicator does. So you can actually just go here and you can find what does it do. For example, right here, and it'll tell you what the calculation is, what is it looking at, how to use it, all of those things. So you can actually go, and for those people who don't know, you can go here and then you can, it says for SMA, price crossing above the SMA signals a potential bullish shift. So you can actually go and learn about it all on our guide page. And then once you've learned about it, let's say you go learn about 5, 6 different indicators and you think you figured out a way where you can have them be put together and use them. Then you go over here and now you can start to create. So you see on the left side, there's like logic ones or then after, and then crosses above, below equals. There's
Okay.
value, candle price, high low close, buy or sell, and then there's price action. If there's a equal low or if there's a fair value gap, or basically any type of strategy that you can think of, you can basically make here.
And you can tie in, I can't remember the name of the function is, but you know how the head and shoulders, for example, if you want to put that into your strategy, that can also be done.
Yes.
Next question I had was for just regular indicators. I don't know. I didn't see that.
Regular
On the
indicator.
normal chart, I think.
Just a normal chart.
Oh, on the trading platform? Yeah, so
Okay.
if you go right here, you can find all the indicators right. So if you go to the indicators tab, so you, for example, if you want to add Bollinger Bands, there it is.
You mentioned you can connect to different brokers. I know people have been mentioning we were with Abado and now we're still with Abado, but you're recommending to use this platform, AlgoBars, based on all the features. But does that mean they can still connect the balance from that's in their Abado account to trade here?
So if they're on the Abado web trader, they just have to request Abado to send it to the go-to MetaTrader. Once their
Okay.
MetaTrader is funded with their same balance, because it's just an internal transfer for them. Once their MetaTrader is funded, then they just connect their MetaTrader here. And then they can click sell and do everything here, and it will transmit to their MetaTrader.
The MetaTrader balance and all of its information will appear on the AlgoBars web platform.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
this balance is actually of the MT5.
Yeah, trade history. You can see this is the trade history. This is directly being pulled from right here. So you can bypass using a very outdated trading system and platform and
Yeah.
use basically the latest tech while still transmitting your trades to any broker on this planet.
Yeah, I haven't. Does Meta 4.5 have ghost option? My bank, like I don't think I've seen
No,
that.
actually, not doesn't exist yet. So we just made that. And the other thing that Meta doesn't have and no other platform has I've seen is that their automated strategies don't run when you turn it off. On here, if you close the browser and you exit, it will keep running on the servers no matter what. Other brokers don't have that. You have to keep your MetaTrader on a server online to keep running.
Like you have to keep the screen up or like
Yeah,
logged in.
exactly. But here you can just log out, it'll stay running in the background.
Oh, wow.
Which, if you spoke to a developer, like a very advanced one who works at like, would tell you that that's an extremely complicated ask and they can't do that. But we did that.
Nice.
And just let us know any feedback or feature recommendations. We can always add them to the pipeline and have them built in very quickly.